Good morning. Just got myself ready for the day. How are you all? I hope you're all doing well. I've got lots of fun little housey updates, I guess, coming up for you, because I know that you all loved seeing the wallpaper going up in our bedroom, and I'm so excited to actually have a bedroom again that's like decorated. I just got ready. It's making my life so much easier having my eyebrows laminated and my eyelashes lifted. I'm a bit worried that it's going to ruin my eyelashes and eyebrows over time, but they look great. It feels like I've got mascara on, but not too much mascara. It looks really natural and lovely. I'm having a slight flare up on my lip of like dry skin. Not sure what that's about. Oh well. I did get an exciting delivery that I wanted to show you. I've already kind of opened it because I was excited. It's from Fairphone, who I have talked about before. They're a really cool brand, and I just love everything they're doing. They make phones that are made fairly, sustainably, ethically, and I feel like a lot of you would appreciate hearing about them, because I know that at least when I shop for electronics, one of my worries is whether it's sustainable or whether the people who've made those electronics have been paid a fair wage. And that's why a lot of the time I buy secondhand electronics. Most of the electronics I buy are secondhand. So it's really great to have a company that is making sustainable products that are designed and built to last, while also being ethically sourced, by paying their workers a fair living wage, and just being a disruptive brand and an innovative brand when it comes to sustainability. Because I don't know, I just like when a brand is saying, hey everybody, we should be doing this more responsibly. It's not okay the way we're doing it currently. And Fairphone have very excitingly come out with their Fairbuds XL. So I have talked about their phone before, but now they have headphones, and they look so cute because the little speckles almost look like little stars in the sky. Let's put them on. First reaction here. I actually need new headphones because I left mine. Can you believe I left my headphones on a plane? This was ages ago and I haven't replaced them. So I've been using my old ones, which are kind of broken, but I need new headphones for work and everything. So, they're so cute. They look really lovely. They feel comfortable. There's pretty good noise cancellation happening right now. Yeah. I really like the look of them. So these do have noise cancelling, so you can block out any sounds from the outside world, or you can put them in ambient mode so that you can hear what's going on outside of the headphones. It's good to have the options of both, because sometimes I find noise cancelling helpful, but sometimes I don't want it, because if I'm on a walk, for example, I want to be able to hear, like if there's a car coming, or if I don't know, if you're like, maybe sometimes even in the office, I don't want the noise cancelling on because I want to be able to hear if someone needs me or is talking to me. It's good to have the option for both. They're also wireless, so you don't need any cables. So that's really flexible. Love that they're wireless. They have 30 hours of battery life. Like, that's a very long time. I'm awful at charging things, so that's going to be wonderful. The amount of times I take my headphones to go on a walk and I realise I haven't charged them, so that's perfect. They're made from sustainable materials like 100% recycled aluminium and 80% recycled plastic. And it goes beyond the materials because the design itself has been specifically made to lower the impact on the climate via carbon emissions, and also by contributing to climate projects. And as is with their phones, you can repair them. So I think that the issue with a lot of electrical equipment these days, phones, cameras, headphones, all of it, is that you can't repair them, so you end up having to replace them, which is obviously extremely unsustainable. So Fairphone is a champion of repairing. It comes with 9 modular parts, so it can be fixed. So you can keep them and fix them and not have to be replacing them when they break. And this is true also of the battery, because I think that's another issue with lots of headphones. The batteries mean that you have to just get a new pair. You can replace and exchange the battery. Same goes for the ear cushions, the speaker, and many other parts. And you can just get all those spare parts on the Fairphone website, making it just very easy just to keep the headphones and replace things when they break, rather than getting an entirely new one. I just think that that's the way it should be for everything really these days. And I just wanted to quickly run through some of the reasons why repairing your electronics is the more sustainable choice, because some of these I didn't consider. Obviously I knew that repairing things is the more sustainable choice for some of these reasons, but I wanted to read them all to you because I just thought it was very interesting. So the longer you use what you already have, the less new devices need to be produced, of course. This means that less rare resources need to be used. I think that's a very good point, meaning less negative impact on the environment and the people working in the supply chain. So it's about the rare resources that are often in a lot of our electronics, and where they've come from. If you're not buying a new one and you're just repairing, it's just going to be limiting that. Less greenhouse gas emissions occur during production and less electronic waste ends up in landfills. Finally, while being easier to repair, modular devices are also easier to recycle, making it more likely that some of the materials can be reused in the future. So I just thought I would share that because I thought it was very interesting. Fairphone pay their workers a living wage, and they have extended an industry first living wage bonus to the headphone category. So they're paying 55 cents per headphone as a bonus to the workers to make sure that they're earning a fair living wage. And it seems funny when we think about it that like so many of the products that we use in our day-to-day lives have come from somewhere or a factory where people aren't paid a fair living wage, which essentially means that they can earn enough income to cover their basic needs and for their family. So shelter, food, bills, etc. So it's wild to me that it's just normalised that so much of the things that we own come from places where people aren't earning a fair living wage. They're coming from factories that don't do that don't pay their workers a fair living wage, and that big companies are funding that. They're actually choosing those factories to provide their products, and they're using those factories on their supply chain. And it's almost sad that a company like Fairphone is, I don't know, having to say, look, we're paying people a fair living wage, when that should be the norm. It should just be standard. It's really sad, like even like reading this information. So saying like both living wage and living income are about the ability to afford a basic but decent standard of living for a person and their family. Everyone working a normal job with normal hours should be able to afford food and shelter, regular meals, and the other basics such as medication and education for themselves and their family. And to me, that seems like the norm, right? We're having an issue in the UK right now with the cost of living crisis. That should just be normal, and that should be what is standard just across the board. So it's kind of sad that we're having to pick out companies that are doing that, and lots of them aren't. So yeah, I'm very proud to be working with Fairphone and championing the fact that they are paying their workers a fair living wage to produce electronics that we use, because they are a luxury. And a fair living wage is not minimum wage, it's more than minimum wage, because minimum wage doesn't cover those basics. And that's what Fairphone was built on and founded on. The fact that people wanted this product. They wanted products that come from a supply chain where people were paid fairly. They wanted products that were made with sustainable materials, that didn't use conflict minerals in the consumer product. People wanted to buy it, but that product didn't exist. So Fairphone decided to create it. So yeah, really proud to be working with them. Love the headphones. I'll leave a link down below for you to check them out, because I really think that they're a great choice. And I'm going to be using them for the foreseeable. I'm excited to do some sorting and cleaning actually, and everything in these headphones. So yeah, go check them out. Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to the bedroom. Can you believe that the wallpapering is done? I realised when I watched that video back, I never mentioned where this wallpaper is from. I know I mentioned it on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, on my home account, you get to see the live action updates, but it's Sanderson, and I think it's, I don't know the name of it, it's something chintz. I'll leave a link to it. We got it on Jane Clayton. They have a few different colours. And then the paint colour is Farrow & Ball's Lulworth Blue. Hey Bobby. She heard me talking and she thought I was talking to her. Oh no, there's a bit of paint on the floor. Gosh, I hope that comes out. I am hopeful that in the next few days we can move back in here. There will definitely be lots of other jobs that need to be finished. So we've got the curtains to come, the radiator to go in, I've got, you know, pictures to hang, and that's quite a big commitment because there's wallpaper. So if I hang a picture, it has to be the right picture. I think my tactic is that I'm going to be hanging them in places where if I did replace the picture, I will replace it with another picture that would be hung in the exact same spot. So I'm not going to tailor it too much to the size of the picture, if that makes sense. So I'm thinking of having a picture above each bedside table and then having maybe one on this wall. And that's kind of it. I don't want to overdo it because it's obviously very busy already. So I think well, to start with, the pictures that we put in our green room, which if you watched our Vlogmas, I, in hindsight, don't think they work in there because they look too similar in colour to the wall. And I think there needs to be some kind of contrast. And they also look a bit small. So I think instead they will look great in here because they're like botanical prints. I need to paint this windowsill because it was kind of the workbench and it's kind of got loads of marks all over it. But I think we can move in. I'm gonna reorganise the drawers and start to think about what stuff can go in here. And the idea with this bedroom is that it's gonna sort of hopefully start a process where each of the bedrooms can be 100% finished. Because I think I had this conversation recently with you that even though we've done a lot of renovating, there is actually not a single room in this house that's 100% finished, not a single one. And so it'd be wonderful to have our bedroom be the first that is 100% completed. And when this radiator goes in, the other radiators can also go in, and then all the curtains can go in, and I can do all the finishing touches. Like I can, you know, think about what will make it feel finished, and they can just change seasonally, but generally speaking, they're all done. That will feel really an achievement, and then we can sort some things out in the kitchen and living room to make that be finished. But I'm gonna get Alex to help me move the mattress in. He's going on a stag do this weekend. So I really want to use the time to move in. So hopefully he can help me move the bed in and the television. I've just noticed that I need to put a bit of glue. There's a bit of wallpaper that's coming up a bit. That's the last piece. I'm gonna get Alex. And hopefully we can move our stuff in. We're going to try and bissell the carpet as well, because I did say to you that we're not going to change the carpets because they are good, they're fine, and we just need to just clean them a bit. I'm a bit annoyed that I've seen a bit of paint on the floor. It's inevitable, we'll clean it up. One of you also said that you were doing a nursery and you wanted to know what the wallpaper was because it was perfect for a nursery, and maybe, you never know, one day maybe this will become a nursery because it is actually a smaller room than the other bedroom, the pink room. Me and my sister and brother-in-law were just talking about this because I said, oh, come see the bedroom. And then my sister was like, do you say bed? She said, oh, you say bedroom rather than bedroom. So let me know what you say. If you're English or if you're American, what do you say? Because I feel like I interchange. But my sister was saying that I say bedroom. And then Tom was saying, he was like, oh, that's like the Queen's English. And I was like, is it though, bedroom? Or bedroom? Because I just said room and then I said room. I don't know what I say. What do you say? But yeah, this is a smaller room. I think if I say room rather than this is a smaller room. I don't even know. But we do have the television stuff here, but you can easily put that in another room. So yeah, this is a smaller room than the pink bedroom because obviously if you can see, it's literally like that's the door. So it's obviously got this much extra. But this is north facing. This is south facing. You can see how much brighter this room is from this room. Though there is a bit of colour correction happening because of the camera. But it's a really bright room. See, I'm now thinking about the way I say room. I swear I would have said it's a really bright room. This is some of the stuff that's going to go in our bedroom. Did I ever show you this beautiful painting? I got this at the Truro Vintage Market. And I'm thinking that this can go in this room on this wall. So this is a beautiful chair that we got on Facebook. I want to get a table to go next to it. This is what I mean by finishing touches that I've not got round to. When our mattress is back in our room, the chair can go in the corner, we can have a table, and I was thinking that lovely girl can go on the wall there, so as you walk in, it's quite girly. And then we will change these curtains so that they go to the floor. I'm going back and forth with the print. I'm not 100% set. It's not like an urgent thing really because we've got curtains in here, but at some point I will decide. And then obviously the radiator will change. And now I'm looking at it, these radiators are just not, they just don't look, they don't look like they fit the room. But other than that, I like the finishes in here because we did this last year. I love the quilts, the cushions, the bedside lights, the furniture. But maybe one day this will become our room if we have kids, when we have kids. Because it is bigger, but it's darker because it's north facing and you don't have like, you've got the view of the driveway rather than the view of our garden, which is so nice to wake up to. But when we do our driveway, maybe that will look lovely because we'll have new plants and we'll make that feel lovely to look out onto, because it's also something that you look out onto when you're in the kitchen. And it's something that I wanted to keep in mind when we do the driveway, to have something here, like maybe like a log store or like a flower bed or something that looks really lovely to look out on, because it's not the most pretty thing to see at the minute. Anyway, that's quite the introduction to the video, so let's get on. Bobby, out of the way. This reminds me of like Snow White, like whistle while we work, because of the noise. I swear, like old Disney films, they would like be like the seven dwarfs are like digging away, like dig 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 da 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 da.
While Snow White sits there, does nothing.
Yeah, that's me. I am Snow White, and you are one of the seven dwarfs. Except you're very tall.
I'm grumpy.
But you are grumpy, yes.
Or dozy.
But that noise.
Right.
That noise. Yeah. I wanted to show you an update of the patio, but let's flash back because we've got some great time lapses of all the work they've been doing on the patio, and I'll show you what it's like now. So this is now what it looks like. They have pretty much done most of it and grouted most of this area. This is what he's working on today. So there's limited space, but we want the kind of expanding step look so that it just, I don't know, doesn't have a harsh drop, because that's a bit dangerous. So that's the idea here. This has all been laid. It's all been laid. And then you can see the buff grout. Hey Frankie. And then these steps over here, I don't know if I've shown you these. This is where our water butt will go, so it can catch that gutter. And we can actually walk into the garage now, which is kind of surreal. And look at the rose over there, so beautiful. Can't wait till we fill these with lovely flower beds. Very sad though, actually. I think that the previous builders have cut this creeper, so it's dead. As you can see, there's no Well, there's some, but I think those are the ones that are hanging from this one. And I'm also worried that this one's been cut as well because it's got loads of roots, but I'm not even going to talk about it because I will cry because I've already cried about it, because the creeper is one of my favourite plants and it's one of the reasons we bought the house, so I really hope it's going to be okay. We put some compost down, so fingers crossed. But yeah, all grouted. We'll have gravel along the edge. There'll be a gorgeous fire pit here, just like a mini one, and then we'll chop all this back and get the carpenter to fix and do the final bits on the sofa, and then we'll get some cushions made, which will be really good. It is just, I don't know, when I look at it like this through the camera, it's kind of wild because I'm obviously imagining what it's going to be like when it's done, with like plants and everything, and all of this chopped off, and it just looks really, really lovely. And we'll have our flower bed along here and maybe some kind of circular shapes, nice little border. It's going to be great. But I honestly cannot tell you how excited I am to be able to just walk like this. We have for the past year had to climb over, up and down, climb over, up and down, even before, and then to be able to just walk up into the office on some beautiful steps. And then we're going to put our sofa. I think that the sofa that we used to have that's down the bottom now, I think we'll put the sofa in this area, so it's kind of like if you want to like chill outside when you're working. And then obviously because there's going to be the sofa that's built in. And then we've just got a moment of truth with our round table to see if it will work on the new width of the patio, because I'm worried it's going to be too big still. But fingers crossed it's fine. And this is the view. See, this is the creeper. Grows up here, and it used to grow the length of that, and it's dead, which is honestly devastating. I actually don't like thinking about it. Did you just see Alex walk past in his boxes? Yeah, I don't want to think about it, because it's like, this was one of the things that made me buy the house, was how it's all completely covered in wisteria, and then on this side in the autumn it goes bright orange all around this area, and this is dead. That is all wisteria. And I don't know how old that creeper was, but I imagine it was quite old. But then tell me, is that old or is it not? Because do creepers just grow wild and they are quick to grow? Because if they are, I guess it can be replaced. But there is shoots at the bottom, so maybe it does have hope just to regrow. And with the wisteria, maybe we could just, what I want to do is just chop everything back, because the wisteria definitely grows that length in like the space of no time. So I want to chop everything back to underneath these windows when we do the repointing, so that it can flower properly, because I think that's the reason it didn't flower, because we didn't do a big chop. This year it didn't really flower very much. And then the jasmine here is also worse for wear. Again, I just think it's not got enough soil, enough water, and hopefully when we redo the beds, everything will just be way happier. And then we will clad the office. I think we're going to redo the fascias, guttering on the house and the garage. We were only going to do the house, but I think we're going to do the house and the garage, and then clad it just like the garage, and it will go that lovely silver colour, and then it will match, because right now it doesn't look so great. You can see that there is some cladding, but it's painted, so it is rotting away. So I want to just clad it all in wood, so it looks a bit more sort of, I guess, natural looking, because it is quite a big building. When you look at it, it's like not small compared to the house, and we really need to clean that roof. Anyway, I'm now just staring at my house and analysing it, but it's just amazing to see what it will be like. And I'm so happy with the colour of this. I'm so glad we didn't go for just the standard beige limestone, because I just feel like it wouldn't bring out the granite as much. I mean, I love it, but I think that looks better on new houses or Cotswold houses, or even like red brick houses, because it's like a contrast. And I think maybe everyone's used to the kind of beige limestone, because Cotswold stone is like a warm yellowy colour, and then obviously red brick, but like granite is quite grey, and it has that grey undertone. So I think that the grey limestone, blue limestone contrasts beautifully. I have made myself the most epic spread. This is almost a tradition at this point, and I'd forgotten that I used to do this. Whenever Alex used to go away, this goes back to Brighton, I used to make fajitas. So if he would go visit his family in Surrey or go to visit friends or something, I would make myself a feast with fajitas, often because I guess it means I can have leftovers the next day. But to be honest with you, I remember I used to just eat the whole lot myself a lot of the time. because I would be so hungry. But I remembered that we were supposed to have fajitas this week and we didn't. Oh my gosh, the washing machine is literally making this wall vibrate. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can do that thing that I used to do and I haven't done in so long. So let me show you everything. I hope you can't hear that washing machine, it's crazy. In here we've got tofu and pepper and onion with some garlic, and then I've seasoned it with paprika, cumin and cayenne pepper. And then for all the toppings, let me know down below what toppings you always have for fajitas. I have vegan cheese, lettuce, guacamole, lime juice, cucumber, salsa. This is some vegan creme fraiche. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that or not. And then jalapenos, and we've got some tortilla wraps. So this is going to be delicious, and I'm going to watch Love Island, have a glass of rosé, and just enjoy my evening. I'm probably going to do some zhuzhing in the bedroom. Not lots. I think I might just put some lamps, the lamps in there, and I don't know, put a few things in there that make it feel like it's a room, or a room. But it is like 7 p.m. and obviously I have time tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the garden centre tomorrow to see my sister and my niece. But I might do some gardening tomorrow because the weeds are looking quite bad. So I'm in no rush. I think I'm just gonna do it bit by bit in the bedroom and try and organise things, which would be fun. But probably good night from me for now, and I'll see you tomorrow or Monday, I'm not sure.
No, I need those. They were a little too small for me, so I thought maybe.
Good morning. First night sleeping in the new bedroom. And it was so nice, and there's no echo in here. I almost feel like the wallpaper has made it all like cozy and soundproofed, and when the curtains are in, that's the only thing that feels a bit odd at the minute, is it's like, it doesn't have the finishes, so it feels a bit like, whoa, because there's so much wallpaper when you're in here. It's so different, and I know that when there's curtains, radiator, maybe a couple pictures on the walls, it will feel softened. I'm even thinking about a mirror. Let me know what you think. A mirror on this wall, but then I think, is that just a bit impractical because you wouldn't ever stand there to look at yourself? Maybe I could put, do you know what actually would be quite cute? Is a little mirror just as you leave the door, so just here. Because then you could, like I could stand here. I wouldn't ever do that though, would I do that? I'll ask Alex. I don't think a mirror in the middle would work, but maybe to the side, like a small one. And I'm either thinking, let me know what you think on this as well, either pictures above the bedside tables. So I have some that I might use. So I'm the only thing is about whether they're too big. In fact, let's prop you up and then you can give your opinion, because I'm probably gonna get Alex to do this for me when he gets home. Ignore all my underwear on the bed as well. I've done that because I really want to sort out this chest of drawers. Now it's in here, I want everything to be decluttered. So I'm gonna do that today because it's been driving me mad. So hopefully you can see both sides. Okay, so these are the pictures that were in the green bedroom, but I just didn't feel they worked because, well, this one has like a bluey, it's basically been like light or like sunlight stained. So it's got this kind of bluey green background, so it's all washed out. So there's that one, and then there's this one, which is just cream. So we either hang these here, just so you could put them like right behind the bedside tables, like so they're just, because it's almost like they're the same width, or you could put them like above, I think probably somewhere in the middle, somewhere like halfway up the headboard and lamp, so it sits like that. The other alternative is to get smaller prints or pictures. I do have these lovely little postcardy kind of print things that I could frame and put like a couple above each bedside table that would look a little bit more quaint, because I worry that these are too big. Or I did see a picture of a wallpapered room that had, was it a wallpapered room or was it just a blue background, where you had two above the bed. So obviously I can't really, well, I could lean them. Oh, there's a spider, of course there's a freaking spider. Oh my God, why does this happen to me? It's a tiny one, thankfully. I got him inside the jar. Let's pop you outside, little man. Okay, he can find a home in the wisteria. I think he fell off the picture. So yeah, you could hang two above the bed, like next to each other. Obviously that's hilarious because they're all crooked, but you get the vision, you know, like this far apart, or you can put them like properly just next to each other. Because I just think that these work way better in here than they did in the green bedroom, because in the green bedroom they almost just blend in. I think in that room it needs paintings that have colour in them. So yeah, any colours basically. I'm going to try and look for some vintage paintings. I'm even thinking with the house to add some more modern art. It's the thing, I don't love modern art, but I know that there's modern art that isn't modern art that I don't like. So I know that you can get modern paintings, especially like Cornish artists, that are maybe a bit more impressionist or a bit more modern, that I would like. So I need to kind of stop having a block with modern art and thinking I don't like modern art, because there is modern art that I do like. And I remember when Alex and I were viewing houses, we went to this one house in Penzance. Sorry, I'm so far away from you. We went to this one house in Penzance, and it was owned by an artist, and the whole house was filled with vintage prints, vintage paintings, old frames like this, and also canvases of modern art, of impressionist art, small ones, big ones, and it just made the house insanely beautiful. Like, the house was decorated very traditionally, in the style that I like, very, very traditionally. It was an older couple who lived there, but they had loads of mixed styles of art around the house, and I felt like it just added so much character and warmth and interest. And I think it's the last thing you may notice in our rooms. We don't really have any pictures, like we don't have photographs of us, we don't have any pictures of anything. So it's kind of something that when I said I want this room to be finished, I want to add into this bedroom and then sort of continue in the rest of the house. So I want to print some wedding pictures and put those on the windowsill or on our bedside tables. Maybe get a couple black and white frames and print them and put them next to each other. Maybe one of us and then maybe one of family or something. Maybe in here, like I said, we could have those two or some little ones by the bedside tables, and then a mirror. And then I'm just thinking like for hallways and stuff in the future, and for, maybe the green bedroom is an opportunity to get a painting that isn't old. It's maybe a portrait that's a bit newer. I love portraits. I love creepy portraits of people. Actually, there's one downstairs of this old man that I've got that could go in the green bedroom. We'll see. But yeah, it's obviously something I'm very passionate about, because I did a degree in art history. Fun fact, some of you probably know this because I say this sometimes, but some of you don't. I did a degree for 4 years, a Scottish Masters in art history at St Andrews University in Scotland. So it is something that's important to me, and I've been referencing a lot in these videos how I'm kind of coming back to myself a little bit. I think it's something that lots of us experience in our 30s, in our 20s, or at least for me. Let me know if you relate. In my 20s, it was a lot of kind of embrace it, like trying new things, traveling, moving out of home, drinking, partying, having lots of fun, experimenting, moving, starting my career on YouTube. Alex and I went traveling, moving to Brighton. You're looking at what other people are doing and giving it a go. And then I think in your 30s, you almost come back to yourself. You find that there are things that remained from that experimenting period that you want to keep in your life because it like helped you branch out. But then a lot of it is almost like coming back to like what you know and what's familiar to you and what you actually have always known that you love. And I think that's what I'm experiencing now. And I'm probably reflecting that in my interior design, which sounds so shallow, but I actually don't think it is, because I think that your home and your clothing is so reflective of who you are. Maybe to some people it doesn't matter, and maybe there are people who don't love art and design and stuff, but if you do, it's a place that you can really like, it just brings me so much joy to just decorate my home in a way that makes me happy and reflects my loves and my personality and my creativity and my interests. I don't know, it just really does reflect that, because I have such a passion for it, and I always did growing up. And I think maybe like, I suppose when I started my YouTube career, I was 26, 25. How old was I? It was 2016. So I was 24. Oh my God, no, I wasn't. I was 24. Oh my gosh, I'm 31 now. No, that's not right. I was 24. Oh my God. Anyway, that makes me feel old. I think a lot of you don't really, because that was when I was like in my middle of my 20s, post-university. I'd been vegan for 2 years. 2 years? Yeah, I've been vegan for 2 years, and I was experimenting in minimalism. I'd learned a lot about sustainability. I was, starting this whole new career. So you were right in the middle of the phase of me experimenting, doing no poo with my hair, really cutting back on the beauty products and just kind of embracing this kind of hippie lifestyle where I wanted to just say no to everything and reject it all. And I think that's potentially a lot of like mental trauma coming out and me wanting to kind of just experiment and do everything. But you don't know me from my teenage years and my childhood, I suppose. So I got a comment the other day like, oh, you're kind of turning into this other person and because of all these things. It's like, you don't know that I've loved all this stuff since I was younger, and my family and friends know this. This probably doesn't even, like the way I decorate my home, some of you guys might be like, wow, that's so different from her last home or Brighton. But people who know me from when I was younger would know that this is very much me anyway. Like I've always loved William Morris. I've always loved, like I studied pre-Raphaelites when I was at university, and before then I have always been utterly obsessed with this kind of style of home decoration and art. It's just in my, I've always loved it. Always loved pre-Raphaelite, always loved Art Nouveau, always loved William Morris, botanicals, nature, florals, like Kew Gardens. I remember me and my friend Ali like have always been obsessed with this kind of thing and would reference a lot of this. If I was to get my art book, actually maybe I need to get that out for you one day, is I have my old GCSE A-level art course book, and it will be filled with this kind of stuff because I was obsessed with it. Any kind of beautiful illustrative design was so interesting to me. In fact, I nearly did that kind of A-level. Instead of doing fine art, I nearly did design art, which was, you know, creating designs like this, all illustrations. Anyway, I'm really going on at you. I feel like I'm coming back to myself, but with a new, it's like you kind of have your childhood and then your like 20s, and it's like a blend of the two, which I feel like is kind of fun. And I'm having a bit of a moment, I suppose, in this room because it's our bedroom. That's how it's making me feel, because this is like very me. Anyway, what time is it? I don't have a watch on, so I don't know why I'm looking at my wrist. Must make sure I'm not going to be late. I'm going to meet my sister at the garden centre. Sorry, the memory card cut out literally as I was about to say I need to get ready to go to the garden centre soon. Let me know what you think about the pictures though, or if you think these ones just don't work at all, like the style. I think they do. My instinct is actually that they should go up here because I quite like that, because I think they're too big to be down here. I think there they get, I don't know. The thing is I can't see, maybe I'll watch the footage back, but I think because of the height of the ceilings, and because that was the thing I was thinking last night, that the ceilings are tall and it's a smaller room but it's tall ceilings, so there's a lot above when you're lying in bed and stuff on the wallpaper, so I think that the pictures being hung up higher would break that up a bit. That's my thought anyway. I'm gonna try and organise these underwear before I go out. Good afternoon. Oh no. I think after all of the DIY, this nail is, the gel is coming a little loose. I've just got back from the garden centre, and I'll show you what I got. So I kept on seeing little photos. Well, I've had a glass of rosé and I'm talking like I'm drunk. I've had literally a tiny glass of rosé. Must be the heat. I went to the garden centre with my sister, came home and had a glass of rosé just to enjoy the sunshine. Sat here on my phone for a bit, and now I can't even get my words out. And I'm not even joking, I've been crying watching TikToks. Obviously my For You page knows me well, because I was just watching the cutest videos of babies, a video of a man who got like a makeover after his daughter had died. Just like, I've been tearing up, but sometimes you need that, you know. I'm definitely my period's coming tomorrow, 100%, or this evening. Anyway, I kept on seeing photos, maybe I'll insert some more just as examples, of geraniums in beautiful old houses, like period homes. And I kept on seeing them repeatedly over and over, and I sent them to my mum and said, what is this plant? Because I just think it looks so beautiful. I don't know if you're meant to have it inside, but I feel like they're obviously staged to a degree, but the amount of times I see beautiful old manor houses or period homes on Pinterest and they've got this exact plant with these lovely leaves, I thought I'd get some from the garden centre and give it a go. I'm going to put one in the bedroom. I don't know if this is weird though, because like, I was thinking this earlier, I was thinking, why is it that all please can someone explain this to me, but why is it that most houseplants apart from maybe like orchids, don't have flowers. Like we all have houseplants, but they're all just leaves and all the flowers are outside. I'm assuming it's to do with the fact that obviously inside you don't get the same amount of sunlight, and I'm answering my question for myself. I know that's why, because you don't get the sunlight, I suppose, to make the flowers bloom. But if you have them on a windowsill in a south-facing room, then surely they're fine. So I bought this and the pot. I go to Trevena Cross if you live in Cornwall. It's my favourite garden centre. It's so incredible. They have so much stuff, so much variety, and I've got a little base for it. And I also got this ivy plant. I got basically, I think, the exact same one in the office, and it has grown like mad. Maybe I will go in there later and show you, because it's huge now. I think when we got it, it was about this big, but it's like really trailing and massive. And I got this beautiful pot, and I thought this could either go on my bedside table, or maybe not though, because there probably won't be room, but just on the chest of drawers here. Just, I'm going to decorate, and then I will show you the other plants I got. This is how I'm envisaging. I don't know if it looks quite right because it's like two big things. So either this needs to go somewhere else. I think it needs to stay here, or this needs to go somewhere else. So like I need to just have just the one, or I need to have three, because it's just like I'm just trying things out. And then this one can go here. And then I also got this amazing money plant. I just thought it had such a lovely shape. I have one downstairs, but it doesn't look this pretty. And I also just adored you can't even see it. I loved the old terracotta pot. So I thought that could go in here. Look at Zeus making his bed in this unmade bed, because this is where we've been sleeping. Just in the middle of all the cushions. Wait for it. That's a good noise, little Zeusy. That's such a good little noise, little spider monkey. Are you a little spider monkey? Yes, you are. Oh my gosh, I love you so much. And then I put the other geranium in here. I really don't know if it's going to survive. That's what I don't want to do. I don't want to kill it. I love the idea if it grows, how pretty that would be. Bit gutted. This is the other bedside table lamp, and it's broken. And we ordered this a few weeks ago, and I'm worried I'm not going to be able to get a return because it's been over the amount of time. But I just bought them and left them in here. I didn't assemble them. So I'll have to contact them and hopefully they're fine. And I also got this little pot. So this could also go in here with something, with another plant. But you know what, I really do like that there. Just walking in and seeing it. I think the ginger jar needs to go somewhere different though, but I do love the plant. I'm also now thinking it would be cute, no, because there'll be curtains. Yeah, it's hard to, I think that's part of it, because there aren't curtains, it's hard to see. Anyway, you can see that I still haven't cleaned out my underwear drawer. I've had a bag of popcorn though, so I think I need to do that. And also, if you are from Cornwall, again, I feel like I have to say that because I know most of you watching aren't, but there's been a hosepipe ban in the southwest for ages, and so I'm always watching other people or seeing other Instagram people I follow just like, I guess, watering their gardens and being very jealous. But I went to Trevena Cross and had signs up explaining the hosepipe ban, because we've had a hosepipe ban basically for the last year, but it kind of the rules changed. Or do they? I don't really know. I just know that there's a hosepipe ban. So I was under the impression that you just couldn't use the hose for your garden at all, which is obviously extremely difficult. Part of the reason that I've actually been turned off from doing the vegetable garden is because it's down the bottom of our garden, and in order to water it, there's been like no rain recently, and so in order to water it, we had to fill up 2 watering cans like 3 or 4 times and water the beds. So you have to fill them up, which takes a long time to fill up 2 watering cans, walk down to the bottom of the garden, water the beds, go back up and repeat that about 3 or 4 times. It can take, I don't know, it probably doesn't take that long. It probably takes like 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. But I guess that process of having to do it that way is a little bit like, my brain at the end of the day goes, the last thing I want to do right now is to have to fill up watering cans and walk up and down my garden. I know maybe that seems ridiculous to some of you, but it has been something that means I don't do it. The ease of doing it means I just don't. And yeah, at Trevena Cross, long story short, is that, this is definitely not long story short, Maddie, this is definitely short story long, as usual. They had signs that said, for the hose pipe ban, if you're growing vegetables, you can use your hose. And I went and checked this on the Southwest Water website, and it's correct. So they have like a list of what you can't do. So you can't use it for gardens, you can't use it for this, da 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 da. But in the small print, if you click on the sort of things, I'll put a screenshot here, because this is interesting to me. So if you're in Cornwall and you have not been using your hose for your vegetable garden or your vegetable beds, you can. Because they have a thing, if you put down the drop downs, it says that you can use it if you're growing food. So if you've got an allotment or domestic or private, whatever, if you're growing vegetables for food, not flowers, you can't do it for flowers, but if you're growing food, then you can use your hose, which is going to be life-changing. So I can just take the hose on the bottom and just water the vegetable beds, because obviously the hose pipe ban is trying to stop people from using it for, I guess, luxury or unnecessary purposes like watering the garden, because it's not necessary. But growing food is a kind of practical thing that people are doing. They don't want to stop people probably from growing food, because that's a practical good thing to do. Anyway, that was a very long-winded explanation, but I'm very happy. So the only issue is our hose is horrendous, and every time we turn it on it just explodes at the tap. So I think that probably when Alex gets home, I'll talk to him about ordering a new one so we don't have that issue anymore, so we can actually start watering the veg beds every day. And I can just do that in the morning when I'm letting the animals out, and just, it's done every day, because it won't be such an ordeal. Oh, and when we actually start doing our garden properly, we can actually have a hose pipe down the bottom, which will be great, because we're going to have a water butt. We're going to have so many water butts, because we really want to preserve water. It's like a really big goal of ours, because we have these hose pipe bans in the southwest, and you don't have it in the rest of the UK, because we're obviously coastal. We rely on reservoirs. Where I grew up is right next to Colliford Lake, and that is a reservoir that we rely on, and it's been depleted partly because of climate change and because of the heat waves we're having, and yeah, just people using more water. I don't really even know the ins and outs, but anyway. So we're trying to install lots of water butts. So we're going to have one next to the garage, one in the middle of where the sleepers are, where the patio that comes into the garden. There's like a drain, and that will go into a water butt. And they've just done the stairs. I'll show you those in a second. And he has made the stairs wide, so that on the left-hand side where there's guttering on the office, there can be a water butt there as well. And we've got these amazing whiskey barrels that look really cool. And then what we're going to also do, hopefully when we get I spoke about these landscape gardeners that we've been talking to. They said to us to get in touch with them once the patio is done, because we saw them recently and talked over all of our plans, to also get some kind of water down the bottom. So with that water butt in the middle of the garden, there could potentially be a drain. I was thinking anyway, this is my thought process. There could be a drain from that water butt that goes underneath the lawn to the bottom of the garden to another water butt. So essentially it fills the bottom one up first, and then it would overflow into the top one. Because though we do have periods of dry, obviously it's not been raining much at all recently. England rains a lot. So obviously the times that you need water is when it's been sunny and it's not been raining. However, it just means that if it rains on and off, or even if you just get a little bit of rain, then it's preserved, and we can use that for the vegetable garden and for the garden in general, and try and limit our use of the hose pipe, because there will be hose pipe bans probably for the foreseeable living in Cornwall. And it's just been a goal of ours that whatever we do with the garden, it is trying to do it in a sustainable and eco way. We want to introduce a lot more wildflowers and have not just a big square lawn, because that's not good for butterflies, for bees, for insects, for everything. Introduce loads of Cornish native plants, and we've spoken to them about that, and they're really, really knowledgeable on this. So that obviously the more native plants you have, the better it is for the native animals and wildlife. And yeah, just introducing ways to, and they even talked about having a sort of almost like a mound at the bottom where we can put all of the compost, not food compost, we'd have that contained because obviously rats might get in it, but compost in terms of like grass cuttings and anything from gardening, that can become an area that you can also use to grow other things. You can use that compost basically to grow things, and having a pumpkin patch and just having a bit more of a circular economy with the garden. And they're so knowledgeable, and when they start talking about it, we just were talking about it for so long because we both care about it in the same way, and it was a really fun chat. And yeah, doing our fruit cage so we can grow our own fruit, our own berries, and freeze them. And I want to learn more about preserving food so that I can have it through the winter. And I suppose right now we're in a season of like renovating and building this kind of house and this garden, and I really want to be at the stage where I'm able to use it, but I'm not quite there yet, and that's fine, and I have to just kind of ride this season out. And then once the house is kind of done, because it takes over so much of your life, the reason that I've not been working on the vegetable garden is because I simply don't have the time outside of work, because I've been working on this in my spare time. And yeah, it would be very exciting when we're in the season of our life when a lot of the house is like basically done, the big projects are finished, that we can really work on having this kind of almost little, I know that Americans call it a homestead, where you just kind of have your own vegetables, you preserve your own food, and you know, look after the wildlife. And I would love to get chickens one day. The only issue with having chickens is Roxy, because she just chases birds, she kills birds, and it just would terrify me. Part of me thinks that I could train her to understand that they are pets, but also part of me thinks that that's not possible because it's ingrained in her. Let me know if you have experience with a Cocker Spaniel and owning chickens, if it's possible. I grew up with chickens, so they are pets to me. They are like, I see chickens like I see dogs or cats. I grew up with them. We used to ride on our bikes in our old house, which was an old farm, with the chickens on the handlebars. So it's just, yeah. And I know chickens are so good for gardens, because it's like that kind of circular, whatever. They like eat all the bits, the insects that then eat the vegetables that you don't want to be eaten. Anyway, I've talked for 11 minutes. This is going to be one of those videos. I'm all alone, so that's why I'm chatting to you too much. And I just had a glass of rosé, which apparently has just set off this splurge. Anyway, I think we'll probably end this video with some time lapses of me tidying and sorting, and that'll be enough. Actually, let me show you outside, because I did do the steps to the office today. Can you believe? Oh look, they've also done this. How neat is that? So this is the drain cover. I was worried about it because it's this really ugly plastic drain cover, but they've done it with the slabs, and it looks really neat and tidy. Anyway, this was a bit of a kind of question mark for a while, because we were unsure whether we would be able to get this kind of expanding step look where it gets wider, but they've managed to make it work. And this is what I was talking about, that he's left a bit of a space here so we can get a like miniature water butt, because that's where the gutter is, or a plant if it doesn't fit, because it's quite a small space. But I think we could probably, we just have to get a little one, or if not, a plant. And over here we can put a potted plant there, and then we have access here. This is where we're going to have a shed. Can't see anything, it's just basically a load of rubbish that was in our shed before it got taken down. So there's a concrete base there for a shed, so we can access this from the granite steps, which are really lovely. These were already in the house, and it's kind of nice to have that continuity with the wall and everything. I hope that this is not going to be too narrow. He did say to me, he said ignore this, it looks narrow, but once the paving is on it, it comes over more, so it will be like a foot's width out. But I think that there is limited what we could do, basically, because of this sort of corridor. It wasn't like we could come any further out, really. So it's just that we are on a slope in our garden. It's so sloped. So this office and the house actually is like quite high up compared to the rest. Like, it's just at the front, it's obviously a lot higher up. So close though, we're so close. Have you seen the steps to the garage? We have steps, I think I've shown you that. This is where we're going to have another water butt, so we'll have one there, and there'll be one there. This is, you can see it here, this whiskey barrel. It's an old whiskey barrel that's converted into a water butt, and that will live up there in that little corner from this gutter from the garage. And then we'll have another one here where the drain can go to, and then we'll have like flower beds with lots of like lovely plants and native plants. And then right now we've mown this section, but we've kind of been leaving it to do its own thing, just because there's loads of work going on and it's really pointless mowing all of our lawn, and it just, you know, it looks quite pretty just letting it do its thing. But the idea would be to have some sort of more soft circular areas of flower beds and wildflower and all that kind of stuff, just so it's not one big area of lawn. But look at how gorgeous this rose is. It's so beautiful, and it has grown so much even in the last couple of weeks, it was only to here, and now it's grown all this way up. I think last year it was only around here, and it's made its way to this next line. So I think this soon I can tuck. Oh look, I can already. I could tuck it under there. Oh, amazing. So look, it's growing all that way. And then this will be gone soon, the internet. Look at our jasmine though, that's dead. We need to trim him right back. I think we've had an issue with all these, all the building works means that these flower beds have just crumbled up without any soil, and it's affected the plants quite a lot, apart from the wisteria. Wisteria is thriving. But yeah, I'm not sure when. I think I mentioned this at some point. These roots have got chopped. I don't know if it was, I don't know what happened with that, but hopefully this doesn't die, because this has died, which makes me very sad. Hey Frankie! Hello, good afternoon. Look at our t-shirts. I'll come spot your t-shirt. Wait, is the Eden Project on there?
It's just Cornwall.
Cool. So we went to see the War on Drugs this weekend.
It's on the back of mine, no?
Nothing.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. What? I swear. Oh.
Oh.
That's a bit disappointing. How have I not noticed that until now?
I don't think I vlogged this weekend. It's Monday. We had a bit of a half day because we went to the Eden sessions last night, and it was so good. It was our Christmas gift from my sister and brother-in-law to see War on Drugs. They were amazing. They're a band I've loved for years, and it was so great to see them live. And I really recommend Eden sessions if you live in Cornwall, or even if you're like visiting, if you want to go to a gig and you're from the southwest. I really recommend it because it was so relaxed. I felt like it was the adult version of going to a gig because there was so much space, nobody was bumping. We were literally right at the front on the side, and you had so much space around you, no one was shoving. I mean, it might be the type of music because it's quite relaxed music, but yeah, it was just so easygoing. They had loads of vegan options at the food stalls. In fact, one of them was basically mainly vegetarian. I don't know about the other one. So we had like burgers and nachos, and they had lovely drinks. It was sunny. It was just an all-round great experience. We're going back to see The Who in a month. I would love to go back and see Incubus next week because I absolutely love Incubus and I have done since I was a kid, and so does my sister. But the tickets are now, I think, £140, and I just, to go 2 weekends in a row, I would love to, but I just can't justify. I've got too much going on that I just feel like I just want a weekend off. If we weren't renovating right now, I probably would, but yeah, the guys are here today, the electricians are here, and maybe something I didn't tell you is that we're gonna have to take our whole ceiling down. Oh no, I did tell you this, and I think that's gonna potentially happen today, maybe tomorrow. So we've cleaned the hallway out, I'll show you, and thank you for all your conversation around the hallway and what we can do. I think I had this kind of idea of changing the stairs because it was winding me up, but I do have a tendency to get annoyed by something to do with the house and then want to just rip it all out and start again, and it's just not the solution sometimes. Sometimes the middle ground is better because the hallway's not decorated and there's lots of holes from when we rewired. I think we just need to fix the stairs because it could be fixed, and one of you did point that out. You said it looks like you could probably just widen that step. Fix the stairs, the plasterboard's coming off the ceiling, so it will need to be replaced, and when that's happening we can just get them to fill all the other holes and plaster anything that needs to be replastered. We're going to get our lights put in that we want, so they look really nice and neat, and then we're going to get the carpenter to come and fix the cupboards. That might happen later because I don't know what his schedule is, but I want to do the cupboards in the kitchen and the hallway. Then we can paint it, and then we'll have a hallway that will be really lovely, and the doors, we can get those fixed and painted as well. And we'll just have a hallway that looks lovely. We can decorate in there, and it can kind of feel like the downstairs of the house is done, apart from the utility room, but that's really like, it's a messy room. I don't care about it being not done. That can be something that's done as like an extra later on. It's not a high priority at all. I'd much rather do the office or the garden. If anything, it's quite nice that it's a room that you can just chuck stuff in and not worry about it being grubby and horrible in there. And yeah, then it can feel like we come in the house and it's clean and tidy, and the whole downstairs is like done, and it will give us the opportunity to put pictures up and make it feel cozy, and we can put a curtain on the back door. But yeah, anyway, I was gonna tell you about my weekend because I don't think I vlogged. But yeah, we went on Saturday. I hung out with my sister, went to the garden centre. I think maybe I did vlog on that day. We stayed at the Cornwall Hotel. I've not stayed there before, but I've been there for a spa day. Really recommend the massages there. Every time I've been, they've been great. And my sister said it was the best massage she's ever had. It was a de-stress massage and facial. It was really amazing. I don't think the sauna and swimming pool area is as nice as other ones I've stayed at, but it's still lovely, and the staff there are lovely, beautiful rooms, just all round really lovely experience, and it's very close to the Eden Project. If you were going to go to Eden Sessions, I'd recommend it as a place to stay. And yeah, we had a lovely time, very relaxing. It's Monday now. I've kind of got the Sunday scaries, but on a Monday, because I've got lots of things happening. I think I mentioned this last time, that just when there's like work and renovating, it makes me feel a bit like, oh, because like there's lots of worky bits that are coming up that are quite big, so it makes me feel like I just want to have that to focus on, but I have to think about house stuff too. It's all like really positive, it's all really happy and positive and really great things, but it does overwhelm me. I think it's just because I'm sensitive. Anyway, I'm gonna make myself lunch. I know I kind of maybe left you on a bit of a cliffhanger with showing you some of the bits in the bedroom, but not really. I kind of want to leave it as a bit of a kind of full reveal, but then I also don't want to be like hiding it. So maybe I'll show you a few little bits that I did in there. But I want to wait to do like a full makeover, and I want to leave something to show in that makeover, because we've got the curtains and the radiator to do and finishing touches. So I kind of want to leave that for that video. So hopefully that will come in the next, I don't know, it can take like 6 weeks with the curtains. So maybe in a couple months. I know that's really annoying, but yeah, I'll show you the full reveal in hopefully a month or two. And I don't have anything else to say. I'm gonna have a drink and I'm gonna have some lunch. Look at my t-shirt.